Welcome back. Don't adjust your TV sets. I'm back again. This is the second edition of the Triple P, the Pluggo's PLE post show tonight. I was here earlier for Forbidden Door with Ella J. I'm back now with my man Kyle of On the Mark, Mr. On the Mark podcast, Mr. NXT Nightshift, Mr. Too Sweet, whatever he wants to be dubbed. That's what you'll call him. What's up, my man?
Oh, man, I'm a little tired. We were talking a little bit before the show started, had a fantasy draft last night, but me and you both grinding it out today. I haven't been live like you. You're a madman doing all these post shows, but hey, I'm sure the people love it. I love watching your stuff, so it's nice to finally be on one of your shows and talk some NXT.
I was going to say, this is your debut here at Love Wrestling. Hopefully it's not the last time we have you on.
It won't be.
You've been killing it over with the NXT night shift stuff, and Heatwave came up, and I was like, I could do the NXT shows. They're quick, they're fun, they're easy, they get over early. I love the 9:20 end to a PLE, and of course Forbidden Door had to happen as well. Robert Brown is in the house from Lafayette, Indiana. Us Hoosier boys are representing tonight.
Hey, I don't like Lafayette though. I am a Hoosier. I'm from Bloomington, so I got to boo that.
Fair, and I appreciate that because my good friend Tanner Lee is a Purdue Boilermaker, and he can suck it. Go Irish! But I did full shit. So earlier today, like I said, I did Forbidden Door, and I go upstairs and grab something to eat, and then I start doing the NXT watch, and I changed clothes. Mrs. Pluggo was like, "Why did you change? It's the same day." I said, "It's a different show."
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I kind of do that stuff too. Like, even if you're like creating promo videos and stuff, sometimes you got to change the clothes a little bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was like, I got to change it up. It's a different stream. Yes, and Ophelia is in the house. Ophelia Payne did an awesome watch along over on the Hive with JPJ. She does things here with Boris. Yeah, we have a new face. Kyle's making his debut. I love Kyle. I'm so excited. We've hung out a little bit here and there and talked, and I just had to have him on a show. And what better way to do it than we both watched NXT today?
Oh, and we're both Hoosiers. I mean, two guys from Indiana that like sports, like wrestling. We like talking wrestling. I think it's just a perfect combo here. So
it worked
should be a good time.
Wonderful. And then, Robert saying he's just a wrestling guy, not a sports guy. That's fair.
Oh, that's fair. Hey,
good.
Then no, I take back my thumbs down to you, Robert. My bad.
But if you're in the chat, go ahead and comment what you thought about NXT Heatwave. Let us know anything else, really. We'll talk about whatever. But like us, subscribe us, share this out to your friends. Let them know where they could, let them know. We're trying to get them boosted up. And if you really want, and if you're feeling generous, hit us with a super chat. We'll guarantee that question, statement, comment gets read on the air, of course, if it's in with reason and it's respectful. We keep it respectful here at Love Wrestling. Mrs. Pluggo's in the chat. I've got a beef with her a little bit. She said she called Ella her love today and just said hi to me. But no, Mrs. Pluggo, the apple of my, the love of my life, absolutely.
Hey, you'll take her tuning in over her saying I love you. She gets a pass on that one.
To be fair, actually, I should never give her. She's the one that lets me go on these crazy benders of watching wrestling and streaming all day. And
that's awesome.
She's fantastic. But we had NXT Heatwave. We'll get dived in real quick or dove in, however the kids say it these days. I don't know. But it took place in Lowell, Massachusetts, which is home of JPJ. That's his hometown. I'll be there in October. I'm actually going to be there in October for Bound for Glory. I'll get to go see his neck of the woods. We had him out in Indiana. Now I'm going to go out to Massachusetts. But that's where it was.
Is that your first time heading out there, or you've been out there a couple times?
It will be my first time heading out there. I've never been to Boston. I've never been to Massachusetts. Neither. So I'll be able to take it off the list. And I'm gonna say it. I tweeted it. You liked it. Nobody commented and made me feel stupid. But that camera angle definitely made that ring look huge today, didn't it?
Dude, yeah, that's what the other half of the Nightshift texted me because he was bragging about watching Heatwave on the beach, which that is a flex, by the way. Just having your phone out, laying there on the beach, watching wrestling, nothing wrong with that. But he even said, he goes, these camera angles are starting to, piss me off. I can't really focus on one thing, and I get it. And you even mentioned that the ring didn't even look like, a square. It kind of looked like a rectangle, right?
Yeah, it felt like it looked like a rectangle. But then, of course, they did a couple of other shots where I was like, okay, that makes sense. But I'm also not the brightest bulb in the box, so I was like, this just doesn't look right. Am I crazy? And, of course, everybody, probably would have thought, yeah, because I thought maybe it was my... just my eyesight watches so much wrestling today because there was so much wrestling.
Well, I do like how NXT and even AEW as of late have been running those smaller venues. I like the one that they just did on Tuesday in Philadelphia where that stage was kind of, a little distant from the ring. I thought that was interesting, but I think that's the sweet spot for these kind of shows. Like, because when they go to stadiums and stuff, it doesn't really resonate with the entire crowd.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I know that the IWC that is the hater side craps on it, but I like I like a different looking venue. I liked tonight's layout. I thought it was nice. It was really cozy or whatever, intimate setting. It looked like it was a different vibe, a different show, and
it's kind of like it's kind of like baseball. You go to a different park. Every park is different. Sometimes you got to switch things up.
I agree with you there because. I was thinking about a few years back, like WWE, everything looked exactly the same. The cookie cutter, and whatever that worked for them, but it just felt like there's no nuance to like, are you in Lowell tonight? They can, this is the famous. I can't remember what the place is called. So if JPJ pops in, I'll ask him what the venue is called. But it's historic, and they really talked it up, and they really showed its features tonight. But so they started off tonight with the number one contenders match for the NXT Women's Championship. You had Jada Parker, Lola Vice, and Kalani Jordan. Now, I thought that this match was it. I thought all three of these women were fantastic. I personally would have gave it to Jada, but they went with Lola. She's hot right now. I don't want to say flavor of the month. That feels like it's discrediting all of the hard work. But she's been in AAA. She's been killing it there. She's we saw her at AAA. We saw her NXT. She's been crushing. I'm surprised she doesn't do a little bit on the main roster. But they gave it to Lola Vice. What did you think about this opening? Lowell Memorial Auditorium. I can't.
That's a mouthful right there.
Lowell Memorial Auditorium. So what did you think about this opening contest and the crowning of Lola Vice as the new NXT number one contender for the Women's Championship?
I kind of agree with what you were saying. I was hoping for Miss Parker in this situation, but you could tell that Lola Vice has been heavily featured recently on NXT, which is good because there was a point, I think, at the beginning of this year where she wasn't being featured much. They had her in backstage segments, but nothing like, showing up at Triple Mania, tagging with Mystery Iguana, going viral for that. Like you said, flavor of the month might be accurate, even if there's probably a better way of saying it. But, Lola Vice has put in the work. She's now been in NXT for probably 3 years, I think?
Yeah.
I think about 2022 is when she came in to things. So it's about that time, but I still don't think Lola Vice is going to beat JC Jane. I don't know why something's pulling me that direction, but I think JC Jane's just going to hold on to the NXT title a little bit longer.
You think she's going to make it there? She will. I mean, I guess we. And again, we're not going to go I'm not. I'm going to break the rules of traditional post shows. I'm going to go chronological order because later in the night, they announced a lot of stuff, but the big one was that they're bringing No Mercy back on September 27th, and that's where Lola Vice will get her opportunity. So that is about a month from now. So that'd be 4 weeks, I'll say.
And there's another show before that, right? They announced another show on the 16th, I think they did, unless that was just a regular Tuesday show.
I think it's a regular Tuesday show, but they announced Halloween Havoc, No Mercy, and then, you see, See, I should be a professional and I should be paying attention to
That's
that.
why I think it might have been the one that was before No Mercy, because I remember seeing three
Homecoming.
graphics
See,
there.
this is why I love Ophelia. She is the statistician of my life. She always comes with the Homecoming. But that and I think Halloween Havoc are traditional, just Tuesday night regular shows.
Usually.
And this No Mercy is going to be a standalone on the 27th. So far, it's not counter programming anybody that I'm aware of.
Yeah, but I mean, the odds are pretty high.
Luckily, All Out is on the 20th, and they already have a WrestlePalooza that day.
Hey, yeah. I got my tickets to WrestlePalooza. I wanted to watch All Out, but, they're going head-to-head, right? Time frame is the same.
Time frame, time slots, everything.
Like, today was great. Like, it just led right into another show. We got, like, an hour break in between, which was a nice chance to reset, and then boom. But when it's going on at the same time, it's hard for me to concentrate on both.
Oh, no, I'm with you. And I think you and I speak for a lot of wrestling fans. I like to focus on the one show I'm watching, pay attention to that, and then give my... Because I think it's like, yes, it's good for competition, and yes, it's something that, businesses do, like McDonald's and Burger King compete all the time, right? Like, I understand it, but I also think it does a discredit, especially in the NXT side when you do NXT head-to-head with AEW, because most people are going to watch that major pay-per-view because it's an AEW. AEW always hits on pay-per-views, and then NXT, I think it takes away from what they do and what, like you said, like the hard work that like a Lola Vice is putting in. You're probably like, maybe if she was going head-to-head with Swerve and Okada, you might lean Swerve and Okada, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're putting a developmental against the major leagues essentially at that point. It's you're comparing apples to oranges. So yeah, I mean, I get it.
But now they're going head to head with Major League versus Major League. So we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how my allegiances lie. I'm still trying to figure out what I plan on doing that day because it's.
Well, I mean, it would help to know like what kind of matches we're gonna get. I don't think we have even an idea of what's gonna happen at WrestlePalooza.
I know. I think they're waiting to get through Clash next week before they really start ramping it up. Because I
show every weekend.
Oh, I'm telling you. So, like, when I started this PLE post show thing, I was like, once a month, maybe twice a month, and now it's every week.
You're working weekends, brother.
I'm working weekends.
Overtime, baby.
Mrs. Pluggo's a saint. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah, we got Lola Vice, No Mercy, who, assuming it's JC Jane as NXT champion by the time we get there, that'll be her shot. She will get that shot. We'll dive a little deeper into that here in a little bit because there was some stuff that happened with JC Jane. A lot of stuff happened that they set up for Tuesday. But we got the calling, got a promo segment. Basically, they're going to show the world who they are. This is not my vibe. I don't know how you feel about it, Kyle. They're not my vibe, but basically Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame are going to take on Ren Sinclair on Tuesday, and Ren's got to find a partner within the next couple of days to take on. I don't know who her partner's going to be. We shall see. Maybe returning, like maybe Thea Hale's returning at some. Is she available?
She's been around though. I don't even know if it would be a return at this point. She was on a couple weeks ago.
That's true.
I was thinking maybe somebody involved, like a Wendy Chu. They kind of call her back up to NXT or something like that. I don't know if there's any callback there or anything, but there's no like free agents available that I know of.
Yeah,
that
so
could like slide into that spot.
Yeah, so I'm wondering who it'll be, but yet that's basically what they talked about there. Fun fact that I don't want to. I was my son had went to a buddy's house, and the parents dropped him off. Right as this segment was going on, and my son's he's a friend of mine. His dad was like, any segment with Ty Dillinger, and it's not going to be good. Because he doesn't watch as much as I do.
But he knew who he was.
But he knew who he was, and he goes, this segment can't be good. And
those couple years with Ty Dillinger in NXT were fun.
Hey, listen, I love the Perfect 10, man. Don't get me wrong. But I just thought it was really funny that, like, I'm trying to, like, take notes on this, and he's just like, Ty Dillinger. I was like, well, he goes by Sean Spears now. Jeez,
yeah,
man.
You got to get the name right. People will get offended.
It's a miracle that any one of my son's friends' parents hang out with me in my nerdy ways. I got to be honest. I'm like,
it seems like every time you want to show a casual or somebody that might make fun of wrestling, it's the most embarrassing segment possible that's going to pop up, like maybe Santina Morella dressed up or something like that. That's just how it goes. But hey, we love it. And that's all that matters.
I'm just glad they didn't drop him off when Will Ospreay got murdered earlier today, because I would have had to be like, this is wrestling. It's wrestling. But I digress.
He almost saw an ear come off today too.
Yeah. Could you imagine? I'm just like, some like your kid's friend's parents just walk in and John Moxley is just destroying Darby Allin's ear, and you're just like,
just sitting there like this.
You're like I'll see you guys in the pickup line at school on Monday.
Yeah, I'm not hanging out with that guy anymore.
but yeah, so yeah, then we got that. So we'll see how that goes on Tuesday. We'll see who our partner is. I'm trying to think if there's anybody that has any beef with Paxley or Dame that I'm not thinking of. If you have an idea, let us know in the chat. Of course, always hit that like button, subscribe button, all that fun stuff while you're trying to do that. We got that Dark State versus Hank and Tank. And we weren't sure which members of Dark State were going to be in the match. It looked like they were just kind of coming in and out and trying to mess with Hank.
Circling the ring, yeah.
Circling the ring, one
like sharks.
Like sharks, you know. Just and I kind of dug that. I really dug the whole like they literally waited till almost the bell ring, and it turned out to be Dion Lennox and Osiris. I feel like I don't butcher
Osiris, yeah.
I just want to make sure I say it correctly.
Yeah, Big Osiris.
Big Osiris, which I really liked Dion Lennox here. I don't know why Dark State it's interesting. I enjoy my Dark State a little bit. They're growing on me, but I definitely like Dion Lewis a lot in this match. I thought he looked really good.
I was gonna say, but for the beginning part of this faction, Saquon Sugars was the name that stood out to me just because I thought he had the most charisma and he was explosive in the ring. But like you said, Dion Lennox really stood out in this match, and I love Osiris's presence. I think like every one of those guys is starting to get into a comfort zone, and they're actually like working as a cohesive unit. So them taking those titles off Hank and Tank felt like the right move because let's be real, once Hank and Tank won those titles, they were in backstage segments at best, and babyface teams are better on the chase. It's just better to have the heels hold the title for the long part, and I think Dark State has a bright future, honestly. They're growing on me as well.
And I was going to say, Hank and Tank, they kind of, then all of a sudden they became buddies with everybody. They were hanging with Joe Hendry for a while.
Like a comedy act.
Yeah, they literally were in dresses and hair and makeup last week in the Chelsea Green segment.
And that's your champions.
And it's no disrespect. Don't get me wrong. Right. I love comedy wrestling. I think there is a place for, I don't think you need everything has to be intense every time you go out there and ring the bell. I think you need to have some fun, but it just felt like that's what they were. And Dark State, to their credit, they played the numbers game super well in this matchup. You know, Hank and Tank did the best to fight all four of them off, but couldn't do it. And we have new NXT Tag Team Champions. And my next question then is like,
oh, don't ask. I know what you're going to ask.
Are they going to freebird it?
Oh, okay. That's
what do you think I was going to ask?
Oh, I was going to say, who's the next team? Because I can't think of another team in NXT.
We were going to get there after this. My first question is, are we freebirding this thing?
I think they should. What do you think? I say yes.
I am pro freebirding every title. So if you're Fatal Influence, I think you should be able to freebird the NXT Women's Championship.
New Day did it, right?
I don't think New Day did it with the world title when Big E won it, but they definitely freebirded the tag titles. I'm talking, listen, Don Callis family, there's 15 of you. Go ahead and freebird the hell out of any championship you win.
They do have a lot of people in that faction now. A lot of big boys, too.
They sure do. But that is my next question, because if NXT's tag division is real light right now, and every time Chase U, maybe.
I can't think of anyone else. Like, I would have said OTM, not my podcast, but the fake OTM. But they haven't been on TV in forever. Where have they been?
I don't know. Maria, welcome into the chat. Thank you for hanging out with us. She's been in every chat today, so shout out to her.
Rockstar.
Yeah, she's an iron chatter, man. That's what I was thinking. Like OTM, you could put together a tag team if you want. Maybe, I don't know. I don't watch enough Evolve to be able to make this statement, but maybe the Vanity Project boy, are they ready to come up? And
I would say they are. They've got a taste, right?
Yeah, they were up there a little bit with Ethan Page before he started doing the Canadian gimmick thing. I look at this tag division and I'm like, okay, cool. Dark State, now give them some challengers, let them mow down some people and get them some real stuff going to really help elevate Dark State to that next level where they finally, in my opinion, have kind of gotten that like Timu retribution like, thing off of them. I don't think it's the same vibe. I think it's something.
They're their own thing now.
Yeah, they're their completely own thing. Give me that. I don't know what we do with them. I don't know who's next. Maybe we'll build some teams. Maybe there's some things that'll happen. There's got to be some people we're thinking
Dude,
about.
like you said, though, Evolve and you got the ID program. They're not shy with incorporating these guys in the storylines. Like Sean Legacy was on TV for the longest time. Maybe throw Sean Legacy into a tag team with someone. They ever since Fraxium left, and that's why I was worried about Fraxium getting the call up. There really just isn't any competitive balance in that tag division. They need to start building now.
Yeah, and I would say maybe you could drop some WWE tag teams down.
Yeah, you could.
But they're struggling a little bit on that end, on Raw especially. Well, SmackDown's fine. But I don't think
SmackDown, yeah.
SmackDown's tag division is fit. Fernando! Welcome in, Fernando. What's good, my friend? Thanks for hanging out, chatting some NXT tonight. The reason I bring up Evolve, too, is there was a super long, it felt like a 15-minute commercial for Evolve. But it was really only like 5 minutes. Gal was in there doing push-ups, and then they were promoting the heck out of it. Again, here's the thing: there's only so much time in the day. When I get a chance to watch Evolve, I will binge like 3 or 4 episodes in a shot.
It's an easy watch.
But I don't think it's bad. What I've seen is not bad. It's just not something that I appointment view every week, so I can't in good conscience comment on the state of Evolve right now.
Well, I was going to say, you got a show live essentially every day. Monday Night Raw, NXT, Dynamite, TNA, SmackDown, and then every weekend there's a PLE or pay-per-view. And
that's if you don't watch
Indies.
GCW's Homecoming was this weekend.
I still haven't got the chance to watch that because there's just so much time in a day, as you said.
I sat down and watched the Saturday night. I watched the opening night at Homecoming.
Did you enjoy it?
I had a good time. I had a really good time with it. There was a lot of things that I liked about it.
Was that the Cross night when he showed up?
Mm-hmm. Killer Cross, a.k.a. Karrion Kross, or formerly known as Karrion Kross, showed up with Scarlett, helped out Shotzi Blackheart in her match. So
that's fun.
That's cool. And then Karrion Kross, or I'm going to call him Karrion forever.
I still think he is Karrion, by the way. Yeah. I'm not buying into this.
No?
I still think he's just doing indie dates that WWE approves. I think it's going to be a story for him to come back eventually.
I mean, that would be cool, and I would be absolutely down with that.
Maybe I'm just optimistic, and I'm being a mark.
Hey, listen, that's okay. Be a mark. I'm all right with being a mark. I got marked out with the Seth Rollins injury. I was like,
that was so nice.
I was like, they're not doing that. So if they are doing that with Karrion Kross, cool. If they're not, at least he's going to thrive in the Indies.
For sure. And don't they have a match now scheduled for him versus Cardona then?
I don't know if it got official yet or not. I didn't see an official word when I was watching. I might have missed it, but I know he's got something coming up at House of Glory and then a couple other spots. While you look that up, we had this backstage segment with Lexus King basically.
This story.
He makes fun of Miles Bourne for being deaf, so he's going to wrestle him in a blindfold match.
Yeah, he's been going around backstage wearing headphones and stuff, banging on things. It's an interesting side quest feud, I guess. I don't know.
I'm like, okay, I don't know, whatever. But Lexus King will be blindfolded against Miles Bourne. Will Miles Bourne also be blindfolded? They didn't really specify, but Ava, what are you doing? Don't. She's like, okay.
You know what? I've said this on our show too. Something about the NXT men's division I'm just not into right now. Like, it's very top heavy. It's really good at the top. But after that, and maybe it's just because I'm so invested into everybody in the women's division, and they like to showcase the women's division as they should. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you share that same sentiment, but yeah, the men's division, I feel like they're lacking other than, maybe the Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, and Obafemi Javon Evans group.
There's some depth issues there, and I think they've helped. The women's division's always been strong for a long time, but then they called a bunch of people up, and they just haven't found that next. And I don't know, maybe when Triple H made that statement on that Unreal show about the women picking up faster than the men, maybe there's something to that. I don't know. But yeah, now in NXT, like, it definitely feels very plug and play in a lot of these issues. And then you just, like I said, you have this Lexus King. Like you had Miles Bourne at Battleground as like the guy that pushing Obafemi, right? He was he pushed him to the limit. You built him up, and now he's doing this kind of stuff. I know everybody can't always stay at the top of a card at every waking moment, but I feel like there's something more we could be doing with both these guys. But whatever. I mean, you got to fill your hours again. Who knows?
There's only so many mouths to feed as well.
Speaking, and that was a great segue, Kyle, because we're here.
Know it.
The TNA Knockouts Championship triple threat. We got JC Jane defending against Ash by Elegance, and you want to talk about me being an Iron Man. Masha Slamovich, she's putting it on for GCW on Friday. She's putting it out she's over here. I'm sorry, Saturday night, she's Team GCW in a six-way match, and then she's Team TNA tonight. She's all over the place. I love seeing Masha Slamovich getting her due and getting some aid, our WWE TV time. I think it's fantastic.
I was going to say, I ever since a couple months ago, I think that she showed up on NXT, I was like, man, this is somebody that I could actually see getting signed too, similar to Jordan Grace. They're giving her that taste of it, similar to what they did with Grace in the Royal Rumble and all that. And I think eventually this is just going to be their way of, you know what, Masha, here's a contract. Let's try things out and see how things are over here. Yeah, I don't know. I can see it.
I don't know Masha's contract situation. I'm not that kind of expert. If you want that kind of information.
I don't know that information.
You go to Fightful and hang out with the Sean Ross Sapps of the world. They know that stuff. All I know is that what they have in NXT right now, women's division-wise, once those women move on, Masha might be a perfect person to slot right back in there.
Oh yeah.
So this is interesting. So this is a TNA Knockouts Women's Championship on a WWE NXT program. JC Jane. So this match annoyed me.
Why is that?
Just the way it ended, and the way the rules of this match were enforced. Like, this match was great. I thought all three of these women played off each other super well. I think Ash by Elegance, formerly known as Dana Brooke for those NXT people that don't remember, has really come into her own and really changed her game up a lot. Masha's fantastic. JC's fantastic. But it's a triple threat match. There's no DQs in a triple threat match.
No. There's no rope breaks either.
So, yeah, right. So we had the rope break. We had, why is the Elegance brand and Jasmine and Fallon not getting involved earlier, right? You have the opportunity. Masha's on her own there. Why doesn't one of your teams go, hey, guys, why don't we take out Masha? She'll kill you. Why don't you guys go take out Masha and we could make this an easier fight?
Right.
So that happened. And then Jasmine Nix gets thrown out of the match for punching Ash in the face.
Yep.
The ref throws her out of the match, and I go, okay, that's a super weird thing to enforce here.
Mm-hmm.
So you threw Fatal Influence out, but then not 2 minutes later, Masha's going for a pin, and the Elegance brand pulls her off of, and the ref just kind of goes, he just... He goes,
the rules and reffing today as a whole, I think, were kind of questionable in some matches.
Right? Like, they watched Bryce Rensburg, and they were like, oh.
That's what I was referring to. That was the big one earlier that I was like, all right, that happened. But, you're not always going to be on, I guess. But, yeah, that is a thing that I really didn't notice until you just pointed it out now. But you're right. It did feel kind of, clunky at times. It just didn't make sense. But they did go there. The effort was there. All three delivered, and we got it, I think, which was the most shocking result of the night. Ash by Elegance is the new Knockouts champ. Yeah. I thought maybe they were going to wait for Masha to win it in a singles match, but no. Ash reinvented herself, like you said, and she gets her crowning moment here, which, isn't it ironic that it's in the company that she got let go from?
That's the other thing, yeah.
So weird.
Like when I watched this match, nothing about the match and the performers annoyed me.
Bad.
It was just all of the weird decisions that we made to get there, and then I was like, I bet I bet Ash by Elegance is loving this moment. She's winning a different company's championship in the company that let her go, which good for her.
From somebody from the company too. JC Jane being from WWE.
Which and I'm okay with TNA's Knockouts Championship going back to TNA, and it was cool over the summer. We had the JC run. It's good to go back into TNA, do some things in TNA. But yeah, it's just like if you're going to enforce Jasmine Punch and Ash, you got to kick out the Elegance brand for pulling somebody off of a pin, because it's the same. It just was super strange.
Got to connect those dots.
It didn't make any sense.
No.
Why are we breaking in a triple threat match? But they did that today at AEW as well. That's
why I said, man, it was just a weird day for rules, finishes, and officiating. But hey, I still enjoyed myself. I guess that's all that matters, right?
As long as you had fun.
We had fun, yeah.
As long as we had fun, makes sense. But again, if you're going to come out there with your crew, take out the person that doesn't have a crew.
Or hey, if you want to use logic, which is dumb for professional wrestling in general, the two TNA people should have just teamed up the whole time on the NXT superstar to get their title back in their brand.
I would have, that's a great shout, and that's a great point that I'm glad you brought up, because I would have liked to have seen more of a TNA alliance between the two, at least early on. Like,
there should be battle lines, yes.
Yeah. I know Ash and Masha have their differences on TNA.
And a heel and a face, yeah.
But the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and we are in enemy territory on an NXT pay-per-view. They have our company championship. Let's at least get, that would have been cool to see. But they didn't do that.
Hey, logic and pro wrestling, like I said, they don't mix.
They don't. But like you said, Ash by Elegance, congratulations. You are the new TNA Knockouts Championship. Well deserved on her part. Then backstage, we get a Ricky Saints, Javon Evans back and forth. Basically, Ricky Saints is singing the praises of Javon, reminding him of all the things The Undertaker said, reminding him about how he's next. He's going to be the guy that dethrones Obafemi tonight, but he's coming. He's going to be the absolute one that gets the next shot.
Absolute champ.
The revolution. So basically, he backhandedly was like, Javon, you're going to win it, but I'm taking it from you.
Dude, they were doing all those segments to make it feel like Javon's moment was going to happen tonight. That's why I thought these were happening. They're just planting the seeds for the future, which they still might be. Mm-hmm. Like, I think there could be a multi-man match that we might talk about later that could be on the horizon. But, yeah, they got me with these segments, dude. I really was buying into the story that they were telling throughout the show.
Yeah, they definitely mentioned The Undertaker a lot.
Which, by the way, Undertaker choke slamming Trick Williams, what did that do for anyone at the time?
I don't know. That was another one of those, like...
That was just a weird segment. All right, let's do this for... Why?
Because you were promoting LFG, and...
Still want to watch it.
And in WWE, The Undertaker is still this just immortal badass. But see, Undertaker right here. The boss is in the house saying Undertaker, future NXT champ. Exactly. We had to put over that young upstart.
Don't give them ideas. The Undertaker and his daughter might be the NXT Women's Champion in a couple years.
I will say this, though. Looking back on it, I wonder if they would have done that if Trick was the actual NXT champion. I think it's because he was the TNA champion.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about on our show, too. It's like, it makes sense. He's just the TNA champion. We could choke slam him now.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
We're not burying anyone here.
Yeah, we're not burying our guy, really. Whatever. But I digress. But Javon, he's getting ready for his match. Then we go to Blake Monroe versus Jordan Grace. We get a big video package about all their history. This was my match of the night, I think. Like, I really enjoyed Blake comes out super confident, but then runs away chasing Jordan the whole time. Or Jordan's chasing her around the whole time, I should say. Trying to get... And then just, like, they really locked into this... Blake worked the arm the whole time. But, like, everything Jordan was doing, Blake seemed to have a counter for.
Right.
And then she did that crazy Alabama slam spot where she ripped that turnbuckle off. Mm-hmm. And admittedly, in the moment, I was like, did she really mean to do that? And I should have known, like, everything is meant to be done. That's why they do these things.
Right.
Because then it ultimately comes back to bite her. Well, comes back to bite Jordan as she ends up in that corner spot. Blake stomps on her and picks up the win, which I was kind of surprised. I mean, it wasn't a clean victory. But in terms of, like, shady victories the way Blake Monroe could get a shady victory, this wasn't that bad. This was putting kind of Blake Monroe on the map to be like, she's a real. I mean, we knew that, but this is a statement on a PLE of like, she's a real player in this division.
Yeah, that's the one that I think should be the person to take that NXT Women's title off of JCJ, and I think this is all just building up Blake Monroe. But, going into this match, I wasn't too excited for it just because the build, in my opinion, was kind of lazy, kind of weak. I don't like the storytelling of like, oh, she's just average and she's ugly. Like that's too much for me.
It's corny.
Yeah, it's cheesy. I don't want to hear that. But they delivered in ring, and that's all that ended up mattering to me because these two have some great chemistry. I would love to see them run it back again. But Blake Monroe, man, she's got the perfect presentation right now in NXT. I love her theme song coming out with the mirror and everything, and she's just an assassin in the ring because like you said, we got to see more of the technical side of her, which we hadn't seen in WWE quite yet.
What it felt like to me was, outside of the build, because I don't think Blake and Jordan have much say in like what the creative's going to be for the match, right? Like they might have some input. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But I don't think at the end of the day, they were like, we're going to do the pretty girl versus the ugly girl thing. Let's do that. Because, we know what Blake and Jordan have done outside of WWE. But it felt like there was like, Blake's new to the scene. Jordan is NXT, but she's also an outsider. She came from TNA. They were like, we're going to show what we can do in this ring. Let's absolutely put on a great match. And Blake matched Jordan step for step. Jordan matched her step for step. I really think I would like to see them run that back, but again, I'd like to see it be more than she's just not as good looking as me, because that is lazy. That is an NXT thing where I'm like,
that's old booking. Yeah, it's like it goes back to the America versus Canada stuff that I'm sure we'll touch on too. Like that,
we have to. This is a Canadian website, buddy.
Oh, it is. Oh, I guess that makes sense with the CA there in the ad.
Yeah. We're definitely going to talk about it.
We're going to lean into that, aren't we? I didn't know what I was getting myself into, apparently.
So then we get this. I forgot to tell you, Love Wrestling CA is proudly based out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Hey, sorry.
He's here. The right team won. I am from the States. I am the United. Me and JPJ are the United States representation for the Canadian website, but. We get this backstage segment real quick. Jada Parker's talking about coulda, shoulda, woulda, almost had her type stuff. Lash Legend comes out and be like, you aren't winning, girl. I'm winning. This bougie badass is taking the next, I think it sounds like we're getting Lash Legend and Jada Parker.
Nothing wrong with that.
Which is nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I still like the women's division, and I think it was Fernando Yesay is much deeper. This is how deep it is. You got Lash right there, you got Jada right there. But then we continue on. JC Jade's walking back, and she's pissed at her team for not helping her out enough when she lost her. But at the same time, JC, I got to be honest here. If you're the captain of this team, why didn't you tell them to get involved earlier?
This is true. Just like in sports, the coach is always the scapegoat.
Yeah.
If you're the leader of the faction, that's going to point all back to you, JC Jane.
If your girls didn't help you out, you should have said something. But then we get
Jasmine Nix might be the worst faction member of all time. She's cost them probably 15 matches this year.
I know she got thrown out of a no DQ triple threat today.
The first time that's ever happened.
Worst decision I've ever seen. So then we get Lola Vice talking backstage, and she's the new number one contender. JC. It looks like those two are on a collision course for No Mercy, like we talked. And we see Sol Ruka and Zarya.
Love Sol Ruka.
Sol Ruka and Zarya. And Zarya's doing the whole so how does it feel to lose the TNA Knockouts Championship? And doing this whole, which I thought was super fun.
That's a main roster gimmick. They should carry that over, Zarya and Sol Ruka, once they're ready to call them up. They're entertaining.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the way they started the odd couple, the segments they were doing early when they got together, but now they've grown into just they basically know each other like the back of their heads. It's a lot of fun. It's an absolute no doubt built-in women's tag team if you wanted to call them up together. Do I think Zarya and Sol have bigger aspirations than probably tag team?
100%.
100%, but I think
especially Sol right now.
you could throw them into that women's tag division. I don't know why the women's tag team champions don't make their way to NXT.
They used to do that a lot.
They used to. They don't anymore. I don't know why. Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, they decided to get rid of the NXT tag team titles, but it seems like they could have still benefited from having those on this brand.
I agree. And I am going to tease. I'm going to tease it. I'm going to make the boss wait a few more minutes because what next is what he's probably in the chat making sure that I do proper. But since we're talking about Soul and we're talking about Zarya, Ava later on the night before the main event announces that the WWE Speed Championship titles will become NXT.
Yeah.
And there will be a tournament starting September 2nd, and the winner of that tournament will face Sol Ruca for her Speed Championship at No Mercy. So it sounds like AAA's involved, Evolve is involved, and NXT. And I think there was one more I might have missed. AAA, Evolved, NXT. There'll be matches. So the Speed Championships is that I didn't watch a ton of Speed.
I dabbled when it comes across your feed. But is that gonna be the same format you think then, or are they just taking the title?
That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if we're gonna do the same Speed Tournament Championships where it's 3 minutes.
I think they should.
That would be cool. That'd be a nice little.
It's different.
Yeah, a nice little thing in the middle of NXT. Couple
palate cleanser, if you will.
3-minute matches, yeah, for sure. I don't hate it, but yeah, I was wondering what they were going to do with Speed because they stopped kind of taping Speed events for.
I think we all saw that one coming though. Once they announced it, I was like, yeah, that sounds fun, but just like the Cruiserweight Classic, it's just going to go to the burial ground of the dead WWE shows.
Well, I don't know what the agreement was with Twitter or X on how that was going to work.
How that works, yeah.
So now that's just going to be an NXT thing. How much focus they're going to put on it, we will see. But we're here. It's time.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
The Canadian royalty themselves, Chelsea Green and Ethan Page, are taking on Tavion Heights and Tara May Steele, United States Olympic gold medalist. Why are you... What's wrong, Kyle?
I'm American, and I just don't care for these Olympic gimmicks anymore. It's tacky. Going back to the cheesy layup stuff. This is, we're past this, aren't we? Why should I care?
Because you're American and you should care, but I
care about Ethan Page and Chelsea Green because they're entertaining. They're charismatic. They're veterans. I see them all the time on my television screen. Why would I cheer for the Americans? Come on.
It's true. And yes, oh, Canada.
I'm with you on this one. Team Canada for me. I'm turning.
And then Spencer saying RIP to Raw Underground. Yeah, man. Raw.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah.
That was a vibe. They scrapped the initial plan for that the first week it aired.
Well, I don't know why I think of Dabo Kato every time I think of Raw Underground. That's a name right there. I don't even know if he's wrestling
because
anymore.
that was about all that guy was good for at the time.
Hey, Marina Shafir was down there too.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was.
Now she's doing some good things.
So this match, all things aside, yes, it's Canadian royalty. It's Canadians' finest versus, the newly free Tavion Heights. He's out of the No Quarter Catch crew, so he links up with the LFG winner, Steele here. And it starts off with Steele, and Chelsea Green wants no part of it. She's like, no, I'm good, which I love. I love Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green could do no wrong in my book. So she plays possum, gets us started. And this match was it was a lot of they did a really good job of highlighting what Steele was very good at, but also hiding what maybe she's still green at. She wasn't as involved in the match as Heights was or Chelsea was. They did that stereo tandem stuff where they threw Chelsea and Ethan out of the ring, which was really cool. But you could kind of tell hey, get in there, do a couple of your quick, mat wrestling moves, and let's get something. So there was Alba would get involved or something, just to kind of throw us off of her having to wrestle for a long period of time. But I think there's a lot of potential there.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like you were saying, Tavion Heights is a little further in the development process. So saving Tyra May Steele to do those quick suplex spots are fantastic. That's great for her. So I mean, this does them no harm too, in my opinion. Tavion Heights, still relatively new to the NXT audience. I know he was a member of the No Quarter Catch crew, but he hasn't been a single star for that long. I think eventually he probably will be the one to take that title off of Ethan Page. I think that's why they wanted to do this feud in the first place. But man, I said this months ago on NXT Nightshift on my show. I thought Ethan Page and Chelsea Green were similar, wrestling characters, and then they end up putting them together. Mm-hmm. It's the greatest thing ever. I mean, it's just so entertaining. It's another act I could see on the main roster tomorrow.
And I promise you that no one here at Love Wrestling CA out of Edmonton paid Kyle to say that.
No, I love Ethan Page and Chelsea Green. And this is coming from a guy born and raised in the Chicagoland area. I like my Chicago dogs with mustard on it, and I like my beef dipped.
I didn't tell them that they get really sensitive about the Canada talk up here. No, that you're not wrong. They're fantastic. We absolutely love the two of them together. I love that they seemingly did as chaotic as this Hervis and Chelsea and Ethan seem to be. It seems to be a plan that's working. It's always this numbers game. The
timing was impeccable during that match.
Yes, the timing was great. Ethan going in and out of the ring. Like I said, it did a really good job of getting us all introduced fully to Steel, but keeping her protected in the way of I think there's so much more.
She's still a badass. Yeah,
she's still a badass. She's still got a lot to go. But this is what she can do. The Canadian royalty themselves get the win. They figure it out. They get the win. Chelsea Green, Ethan Page, all is right in the world.
The crowd.
The good guys won. We are
in America, and the crowd was blatantly behind Ethan Page and Chelsea Green. That was fantastic.
Have you ever heard of the phrase "you take, who writes your checks keeps don't bite the hand that feeds you"?
Yeah.
You see that? You see that logo down at the bottom? That love. Hey, listen, Canada all day.
You're gonna be dual citizenship at this point.
Hey man, I put it on for the city of Edmonton, 100%.
There you go.
But no, in all seriousness, though, that was fantastic. I love
Great
what these
match.
two. I do love what these two are doing. I love the fact that I'm gonna go on a little bit of a. When Ethan Page starts going off on these state of addresses, and I'm watching it on my local TV, and it gets completely blurred out the entire time. I just think that there's something funny about that.
No, that's fair.
I mean, I'm sure what he's saying is inappropriate. That's why they're blurring it out. But
everything that those two do is fantastic. Just entertaining stuff.
For sure. But I got to bring this up real quick before we hit the main event. Josh Briggs says he's going to be watching the main event. Oh, what was the point of this? He didn't come out. He didn't join the main event. He literally goes, I'm going to be watching because I've got next. If you're going to beat, we all know Javon's next, but I've got next. Where were you then? Why didn't
It's probably setting up a multi-man match at one of the shows coming up. Briggs, you get Starks, or Saints, sorry. Yeah, I know I didn't say his right name. And I guess you could throw Javon into it too, because they just want to keep throwing Javon into NXT title matches and then lose.
I can't believe what next, Mariah May? What are you doing, Kyle? What are you doing?
I know, right?
Oh,
it's difficult. Hey, at least I'm not one of those people that still calls Gunther Walter. There's still those people out there.
That's fair. I called Daniel Bryan. Brian Daniels. I called him Daniel Bryan not too long ago.
That's easy to do, I think. Interchange the two words. Mix them up.
I do it all the time. It's okay. It happens, but I'm telling. So yeah, we're at the main event. The show went really quick. I know that we've gassed on for a little bit, because I just like talking to you, so I'm just running my mouth here. But this was the classic little David versus Goliath. This was the classic. Javon is going to absolutely get pummeled by Obafemi and take everything that Oba gives him and continually kick out. But this time Goliath won. Obafemi retains that spot at the end where Javon. Where he literally just picks Javon up and throws him through the announce table.
Isn't that twice in 1 week?
Yeah, because he did that on Tuesday. Because that's the other thing I glossed over here. Javon is hurt because of Tuesday. So he's coming into this match not 100%. That was also a theme of wrestling today.
Yeah.
Wrestlers who aren't 100%. So Oba just absolutely beat him, but Javon just kept kicking out. He had some really cool offense, of course, because he's fantastic. I love Javon Evans. Like, he's one of those guys I just enjoy watching because he gets air. Like, I know a lot of people compared his frog splash today to Montez's, but I thought I think his might be higher.
Floats.
Yeah,
he's like gliding through the air. He's not jumping. He just it's perfect. Yeah. He's only, I think, 21 years old. So I get why they don't need to pull the trigger quite yet on him, and this is kind of gonna just, they do these stories. They did it with Daniel Bryan. They did it with Kofi Kingston. You got to go through the hard times before you prevail. Look at Cody Rhodes when he finished his story, one of the biggest stories in the past decade. So
you're saying Javon Evans is going to leave NXT, go to AEW, go on a... Okay, no,
yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, now we're going to cross that, huh? We're going to get into the AEW versus WWE debate, aren't we? Don't get the internet going.
Oh, that's what we're here for, engagement.
You got to pick a side, right?
Rage baiter, dude.
I can't watch both, apparently.
Yeah, he's just really like, and he reminds me of, if I don't know how old you are, but
32.
Saturday morning cartoons, Looney Tunes.
Oh yeah.
When the Roadrunner would get the best of Coyote above a cliff. Yeah. It looks like Javon just sits there for a minute and then realizes, oh shoot, I got to drop. Like, it's so talented. He's so talented. I didn't think he was winning here, but I was hopeful.
Oh, I did. I thought this was all leading up to Javon Evans, getting that title, because I don't think there's anybody other than Javon Evans that should take that title off of Obafemi. Is there another name on NXT you'd want to see beat Oba for that title?
Well, I mean, now that Ricky Saints has stepped to him at the end of NXT tonight, I was thinking, yeah, but up until if you're talking to me up until this point,
until that match, yeah,
no, I didn't think, because like we talked a little bit ago about this weaker men's division. Oba's been through everybody.
More than once too.
Yeah, I think they said tonight he's had 9 successful title defenses. I think maybe this makes 10 in NXT circles. That's a lot. Yeah. Like, in this day and age, that's a lot, but in NXT, you're like a grizzled veteran who's been around,
Because they don't do PLEs every month, and usually only the titles are defended on their PLEs.
Yeah, they don't do PLEs every month, and then... Because I think Ethan Page won this at the Heatwave last year. So he came in, he won it at Heatwave last year. So we're not even a year into the Obafemi title. Like, I think it was WrestleMania weekend at that stand.
200-something days, that he's been champion.
Yeah. What else? Who else is left? Briggs, I don't buy. I don't buy Briggs. I don't buy Sean Spears.
He performs well in big matches, Briggs does, but the personality and presentation isn't there for him to be a megastar. Right now, at least, in my opinion.
And we ran through Imamura last month.
Yeah, and Imamura already got a shot. So, yeah, I mean, I guess Saints.
Saints is the guy that hasn't gotten a shot yet.
Or do they go back to Trick again? Does Trick drop the TNA title and then make his way back to Oba? But, like, how many times are you going to go to that well? How long are you going to go to Trick Williams when you don't have any other idea?
I don't think you are. I think Trick Williams is a guy that I think the reason they gave him the TNA championship, in my opinion, was because Trick's done everything in NXT that you can do. He's ready to be called up. I just don't think they have anything for him on the main roster. So they're like, oh, we got this partnership with TNA. Why don't we make Trick the face over there? And we can kind of extend his NXT, but he's mainly been focused over with the TNA side of it. I don't really know.
And help TNA at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. Because they're trying to take down the world with TNA and the. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna be snarky. I'm just saying.
Hey, we gotta do what we gotta do to get those clicks, right?
But yeah, ultimately, I don't know obviously we know what's next is Ricky Saints for Obafemi. Javon, I don't know what we do with Javon here. That's the thing that they do that I get worried. That I get worried about. Now, granted, is Javon Evans ready to be the NXT World Champion? I don't know. People can debate that all you want, but if you keep as your television product putting him in these spots and telling me that he's ready and he keeps coming up short, if you get too cute about it, it might not hit when he wins it. I'm hoping that doesn't happen with Javon, but he might actually be injured. Who knows? Too. Maybe he's going to take some time off, but we'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Tread carefully with Javon Evans because I don't want these close losses anymore. I'm gonna lose interest and give up on the guy. So yeah, he when he did hit that frog splash, he landed directly on his knees, and he was slow to get up there. For a second there, I was like, oh, this seems legit. So maybe there is something else going on behind the scenes. They give him this moment. He gets off TV for a little bit, and then when he returns, he'll get an even bigger reaction.
Because I could be wrong because I'm getting delirious after watching 13 hours of wrestling, but I don't remember. I don't remember him getting up after getting thrown through that table.
Did we really watch that much wrestling today? Because I think I was with you the whole time.
I mean, the Forbidden Door post
12 o'clock.
The Forbidden Door PL for me started at 11:30 with the pre-show, and I watched the pre-show.
Same, so did I.
So
we are crazy, man. I know you're crazy. You were live.
No, I only went live for a couple post shows. You want to talk crazy? Lawrence did a watch along on here, and I hopped in at the main event, but he sat for the whole Forbidden Door, which is crazy. That
was a long show.
I at least got to walk around the house and stand up and do my thing and whatnot.
Interact with Mrs. Pluggo for a couple minutes today.
Sure. Yeah, just like, hey, honey, what's up? And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, watching wrestling. She's like, all right.
Same thing as the last 10 hours.
I haven't left the spot, but I'm here. But I love you. You're cute.
Hey, what a way to spend a Sunday before football season, though, huh? Now every other Sunday, you at least got football on to watch.
Well, yeah. It started yesterday with college. I mean, and now, the NFL starts next.
I already lost a bet, too. I had Kansas State, so off to a great start this year.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to make these I'm going to make college football picks for the Hive and help out my buddies. And of course, the first game of the first picks I ever make publicly, or I lose. Yeah. So there's always that. But Kyle, that was NXT Heatwave. I like to ask this question. Give me a match of the night, or maybe the MVP that you enjoyed the most before I get you out of here. Who's the person that stood out to you the most tonight?
Match of the night is Blake Monroe versus Jordan Grace, but the one that stood out for me tonight is going to be a twofer. It's going to be Ethan Page and Chelsea Green. Just because if you listen to the crowd's reactions, they were the most invested into that match, at least in my opinion. You maybe could argue the main event, and Javon Evans did stand out too, but my winners of the night are Chelsea Green and Ethan Page.
Heck yeah. I have the same match of the night because I love Jordan Grace, Blake Monroe as well, but I will be different because I don't disagree with you. I'm going to go with Ash by Elegance because I really new TNA Knockouts Championship. Because again, if you followed her career, we mentioned statistician with Affiliate. She used to be the statistician for primetime players back in the day, which you probably don't even know who the primetime players are.
I do, yeah. Darren Young and Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, that's
making moves, baby.
She's absolutely reinvented herself, and she holds her own with the likes of Masha Slavovich and JC Jane. She's the champion. So I give her that praise right there. Kyle, 1,000%, I want to thank you so much for making your debut here on this Canadian channel, Love Wrestling, and joining me to talk some NXT Heatwave. Not as late as I thought it was going to be. I'm glad that thing got over early so we can still get some decent sleep tonight.
Yeah, that's what I was concerned about myself, running on 5 hours of sleep here, but we did it, everybody. Look at, guys, you can enjoy both pro wrestling companies, all pro wrestling companies, so support your local indies.
Oh, look at that.
Do all that good stuff. Bring Kyle back. I'll be back. Don't worry. I'm everywhere, guys. I got a lot of hats, like you said, NXT Nightshift, OTM, my network. There's a lot going on over here.
Where can they find you at all of those hats you're wearing? Let these people know where they can find you.
Yeah, so you see it on the screen. There's my Wrestling X account at 2SweetKyle. That's going to be the same on Instagram, too, if you want to follow me over there. All I'm posting is wrestling stuff. But you can see the hat, the merch. It's everywhere. I'm the host of the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. We're live on Thursdays, usually the same time as you guys. But, hey, you still can enjoy both shows. Maybe catch the Beards live and then check us out later. We're at Pod on the Mark on X. And then I am the founder of the Main Event Wrestling Network, which I'm not going to go ahead and plug that because you guys are a great network in yourselves over here. So shout out to you guys.
We'll happily share network.
Main Event Wrestling Network at main event _.
There you go. Hey, we're all about collabing here. And Kyle, I will absolutely bring you back if you're willing to come back and hang out with me again.
Hey, I do have a question for you. Sorry to interrupt you.
Sure, do your thing.
Next Saturday, are you available?
I don't know.
It's Labor Day Saturday. We're doing a 12-hour stream on the network. So I'm just saying, if you want to come do a guest spot, let me know. We'll be live for 12 hours.
Is that with the wrestling junkies?
Oh, yeah. Everybody's a part of it that's on our network. Yeah.
Oh, my God. So I absolutely misunderstood the text Eric sent me then.
Oh, is he trying to get you on?
Well, I messaged him and I said, hey, we should do something together soon. And he's like, yeah, I got this stream next Saturday at like 12. And I thought he said 12. He said 12 hours. And I was like, I do a independent wrestling show from 10 to 11, but I could probably hop in at some point after that if you're still on. Sounds like you're still going to be on for 12 hours. So if I don't have anything going on after that, I will hop in and come hang out.
Over. Let's talk wrestling.
I don't know if I could do the 12-hour jump, but I could come in.
Oh, you don't have to. We everybody's split up by time slots. Nobody's there for 12 hours. Don't worry. I will though. Because I run the thing.
We will talk about that off air once we go on. We'll hammer that out and we'll try to get JPJ involved. But as always, I am Pluggo. You can find me at Pluggo on all social media platforms. You can find me Thursday nights, 8 p.m. with JPJ at Between Two Beards, at B2Beards on all social medias for that. I just mentioned it. Every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. I do a independent wrestling podcast with Blair Pacheco called For Exposure. You can check that out at For Exposure Pod. You can see all of the writings when I actually write, which I need to start doing that again. I was talking about it today. I miss kind of writing. All those writings go up on lovewrestling.ca. My college football picks every week on The Hive. Go follow them. Yeah, I do too much, Kyle.
Go Irish.
Go Irish. That's right. Go Irish. I'm going to talk a lot of shit this week. I can't wait. I'm pumped about it. The U, down with the U. On that note, let's go Irish. We'll see you guys next time. We're out of here. Peace.